The colonel's laugh rang out across the Coronado Officers Club like the clang of a dropped shell casing. He pointed toward a young girl standing just inside the doorway, her hands respectfully folded in front of her. "You want what?" Chuckled, looking around at the other SEALs. "The little lady wants access to the firing range. Isn't that sweet?" The men laughed, some nervously. The girl didn't flinch. She simply stood there, small and still, with a quiet dignity. That unsettled anyone paying attention. No one knew her name yet. By sundown, every soul on that base would never forget it. Not because she yelled, not because she demanded, but because she aimed in history listened. Her name was Penelope Morrison. She was 12 years old, thin as a whistle, quiet as snowfall. But there was something about the way she carried herself, like she belonged in a place that didn't want her. Her father, Kevin, was a former SEAL turned base maintenance chief. Her mother, Nicole, had been a Navy sniper. A damn good one. One of the best before she was killed in action during a classified op 3 years prior. Nicole hadn't left. Behind medals or speeches, she left her daughter a promise, a silver trident necklace, and years of secret weekend training. Penelope knew how to breathe with a rifle. She knew how to read wind-like language. She knew her mother's ghost still haunted the trigger. Today she wasn't asking for attention. She was asking for permission to honor that memory properly. Colonel Vaughn had seen enough of the world to think he understood everything. That was his weakness. When Penelope asked to use the range, he didn't see discipline or lineage. Saw a nuisance, a child, something that didn't belong in his structured world. "This isn't a playground," he barked loud enough for the whole room to hear. "This is where warriors train. Go play with your dolls." That got some chuckles from the crowd. Penelope didn't even blink. She just looked him dead in the eye and said, "My mother trained here, on that range." Her records are still standing. That silenced most of the room, except Vaughn. "Your mother?" he scoffed. "Let me guess, admin work. Food services?" The words hit like a slap across Kevin's jaw. But before he could speak, another voice broke in. It was Master Chief Cross. She stepped forward, her face tight. Lieutenant Nicole Morrison was Phantom 7, the finest natural shot I ever saw. Silence, cold and sharp. Cross didn't raise. Her voice, she didn't need to. When someone like her speaks truth, the air listens. Vaughn blinked, like he'd been slapped. But he couldn't back down now. Not in front of everyone. "Fine," he said, lips curling into a smirk. "You want to show us what Mommy taught you? Let's see it. Full safety protocols. Full supervision. Let the base see what happens when kids play soldier." Cross gave Penelope a look. Silent question. "Are you sure?" Penelope nodded once. Her father hesitated, but he saw it in her eyes. That same fire Nicole had when she took her first shot. "Let's go," Kevin said, his voice thick. And so, a crowd of Navy professionals, SEALs, range officers, commanders followed a little girl in her worn leather, rifle case out toward precision point range. Most of them expected a cute moment followed by a safe failure. What they got was a reckoning. The wind was gentle as the group settled in at the 25-meter line. Cross helped Penelope unpack her gear. It's not toys, not replicas. Real tools? Shooting glasses, ear protection, range notebook, adjustment tools all laid out with exact precision. Captain Foster, the range safety officer, gave the final checks. 5 shots, he said. Standard supported position. Penelope laid prone, adjusted her cheek weld, settled her breathing into a 4-count rhythm Nicole had drilled into her like a lullaby. Inhale, exhale, halfway hold, squeeze, crack. The shot rang out like truth spoken aloud. Then ping. Struck Murphy, the SEAL team commander, peered through binoculars. "Dead center," he said flatly. "Bullseye." There was no cheer, no applause, just silence. Everyone was recalibrating. Vaughn snorted. "Beginner's luck," he said. But his voice didn't sound so sure. Cross stepped forward. "Miss Morrison," she said calmly, "would you be comfortable firing a full qualification string?" Penelope didn't move her eye from the sight. 5 more shots. Crack, 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 crack. The grouping was so tight, even the SEALs started whispering. Foster announced, 1-inch spread, exceeds expert standards. One of the instructors rubbed his jaw. She's not just trained. He muttered, she's gifted. Vaughn's face flushed red, but pride wouldn't let him quit. That's 25 meters, he growled. Try hitting steel at 300 meters. It's where real shooters earn their stripes. Cross raised an eyebrow. She needed a different weapon. Ballistics change, you know that? Vaughn smirked. Exactly. Let's see if she can keep up when the math gets real. They brought out a bolt-action rifle with a high-power scope. Penelope studied it like she was reading a familiar book in a new font. Scope's dialed to 200. I'll compensate for the extra distance, she said, almost to herself. Wind, flags, waved. Mirage shimmered near the ridge. Left drift, 3 clicks, she murmured. Cross watched closely. Nicole taught her environmental compensation. That's not beginner stuff. Everyone got quiet again. Penelope laid prone, settled her breath, and waited for the breeze to still. Then crack, a longer pause this time. Chief Santoro tracked the shot through his spotting scope. His jaw dropped. Dead center, he said. No deviation. Vaughn's mouth opened, then closed. Nobody laughed this time, not even him. Commander Murphy asked gently, would you mind firing 5 more? For measurement, Penelope nodded. 5 more rounds. Every single one struck within the same center zone. 1.5-inch group at 300 meters, Santoro announced. That's well above sniper qualification. Silence. You could feel it. The shift in the air. It's the disbelief breaking into something close to reverence. Colonel Vaughn stared through his binoculars like he'd just seen a ghost. There must be a mistake, he muttered. No 12-year-old can do that. But the evidence was bulletproof. Suddenly rank didn't matter as much as truth. That's when the base staff car pulled up. Major Wright stepped out. We have an incoming helicopter from the Pentagon, she announced. Priority clearance. Everyone stiffened. Within minutes, Admiral Carolyn Wells stepped onto the range. No nonsense. Silver hair. Eyes like razors. She walked straight to Penelope and looked her over. I received reports about a civilian dependent breaking SEAL shooting records, she said. But I didn't expect to find Nicole Morrison's. Daughter Penelope looked up. You knew my mom. I knew her. Trained beside her. Feared her honestly. Wells smiled. Aid. She was a legend. Vaughn looked like he wanted to vanish into the dirt. The Admiral wasn't done. She reached into her satchel and pulled out a photograph. That's your grandmother, she told Penelope. The girl blinked. The woman in the photo looked like Nicole. Strong, calm, confident. Chief Warrant Officer Margaret Morrison. The Admiral said, one of the Navy's first female special operations snipers. Officially, she's dead. Unofficially, she's been working under deep cover. She's on her way here right now. To meet you? She hadn't swayed where he stood. Nicole never told me, he whispered. She couldn't, Wells said softly. The cost of her service was secrecy. But she watched over you. All these years. She saw your records this morning? Penelope clutched her trident pendant. The weight of legacy and loss washed over her like ocean tide. But this time, it brought comfort. Colonel Vaughn stepped forward, trying to salvage dignity. Admiral, I assure you, we followed all protocols. Wells cut him off with a look. Colonel, you publicly mocked the daughter of one of our most decorated warfighters. Then you tried to humiliate her. You failed in judgment and, in leadership, that was it. Nothing more needed to be said. His career ended not with a court-martial, but with a girl and a rifle, and the sound of truth cracking across a California range. Penelope turned to the Admiral. Ma'am, may I keep training? The woman nodded. You won't just train, Miss Morrison. We're building programs around you and your family. With that, the line between child and soldier blurred marked. Not by age, but by ability and discipline. And quiet, unwavering legacy. So if you're still wondering how a little girl could walk into a SEAL base and rewrite every record they ever had, remember this. Greatness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it breathes slow. counts to 4, and pulls the trigger, with purpose passed down through blood, sweat, and silence. Penelope Morrison didn't just honor her mother. She proved that legacy doesn't fade at waits like a loaded rifle. For the moment, someone's brave enough to pull the truth into the light.